you do stuff that you've literally never been able to do. Like, I watched you do a one-legged squat, and I'm thinking, God help you if you complain to Justine. Because Greg literally has physical things he will never be able to do with his body again. He had the lumbar and thoracic area fused. He can't do any rotations and has to cut down anything. So, yes, somebody may go, oh, wow, Greg can walk. So you can walk. I've watched you walk.
You taught me how to walk.
Right. Greg can't do a one-legged squat. He's not allowed to do a one-legged squat, because if Greg tries to do a one-legged squat, it puts an unequal amount of pressure on his hips, which can actually screw up all of the healing that he's trying to be able to do. So there's a bunch of... Greg can't even do the exercises. So although you were amazing at following your PT requirements, like Greg, for example, with his, he literally is the closest to being ordered to bed rest for 6 to 8 months for recovery that you can get. Mm. He can't have any impact. No impact on his body at all. Which means he can't do one-legged activities that... Or
much anything, yeah.
He can't do much of anything. Right? They end up doing that. So that's a very... That would have driven you nuts.
Yes.
I would have told you, Inglar, better plan on writing twice as many books, because that's about the only thing I think that's going to keep you sane.
Yeah.
And afterwards, and you got really lucky with Randy, because he's one of the best PT people I've ever heard of, because he's literally rebuilt your body from the ground up. Right?
Yeah.
He's even told you, you said, I'm just a... And he took you up to task and said, I don't give a damn what you call yourself outside of this. If you want to say you're a dancer, that's fine. But all dancers are athletes, at least if they're good. You're an athlete. You may be an athlete and a dancer. You may be an athlete and a boxer, and a dancer and a boxer. I rehabilitate athletes, Ryan. You're an athlete now. So God knows what you were when you came in, but you're an athlete now. Right?
He doesn't know how you kept me from completely falling apart. He's like, God bless Lowell for almost 10 years keeping you in one piece. He's like, that is a miracle. He's like, if that man isn't a God, I don't know what it is.
Well, there you go. But that's what creates health. So you start looking at, what can you do? Like, what kinds of things can you do right now that you've never been able to do before?
Jog, run. Now they have this really, what they call it some football ladder exercise, but they have this rope ladder that they put on the floor. And you're supposed to do different things with running through it, but steps in each box. One step in, one step out. Shuffles, like actual athletic shuffles.
Your ankle and agility training.
Yes.
These go in part with, and they tell you which part of your foot and how you're supposed to step in and out.
Yes.
And sometimes you do it where both legs are doing the same thing, and sometimes you do it where one leg is just staying and the other leg is going in and out, because it trains different actions and different muscles on both legs.
Yes. And then they stop because I started it yesterday, and then I can tell when I step on, right, you're not supposed to step on the actual ladder thing, but then if I don't do it correctly, I land where I'm not supposed to. And it gives good feedback, because then you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. So I can do that. I can row. Hell, you talked about rowing all the time. And I was like, I always listen to you.
What would have happened if you'd went to a boxing class prior to doing your physical therapy?
I couldn't have gotten through half of it. I couldn't have gotten through a quarter of it. I might have gotten through a minute of the warm-up. Maybe. Right. Because that was jogging. So I don't even know, to be honest, if I could have done that. Probably not.
How do you, scoot back, show me how you sit in a